Let's do this. The Cult of Hockey podcast by the faithful and for the faithful. I'm David Staples of the Edmonton Journal, and I'm here today with Bruce McCurdy. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, David. How are you doing tonight?
Great. It was an exciting game to attend.
You're there live, eh?
Yeah, it was
Must have been
thrilling.
loud.
It was really loud to start. Got a little quiet. Got really loud again at the end, and they almost did it. Would have been very nice, Bruce, if they had figured out a way to tie that game, but not to be just like seemingly the Edmonton Oilers Stanley Cup hopes for 2024. Fast fading. They lose 4-3 to the Florida Panthers tonight. Bruce, this is our two good things, two bad things, and two numbers podcast with one conundrum. And because it's a loss, a pretty devastating one, we'll go with two bad things each. Spoiler alert, they're the four goals against.
Easy to pick tonight.
Which were all rancid in their own way. Okay. What's your good thing?
Well, I go with the tying goal for Edmonton, scored by Warren Foegele early in the second period to make it 1-1 and to inject some renewed hope into the veins of Oilers fans after a disappointing end of the first period. And it just came on a bolt from the blue, but in part it came from a small mistake by Florida Panthers, which they haven't made too many of. But they did hear a shot miss the net and it caromed around the boards. And all of a sudden there was Adam Henrique on the sidewall with one Panther nearby and Warren Foegele ahead and behind everyone. And Henrique was able to slip the pass up through to Foegele, and he came in not with a huge amount of speed, and I think he made the right decision to shoot, not just to shoot, but to shoot when he did, because the space he had was being overtaken, but he let it fly from 20, 25 feet out, but he made just about a perfect shot right inside the post. Hard, accurate shot. And beat Sergei Bobrovsky clean, which is not something that's easily done, apparently. And got the place hopping there for the next 9 or so minutes.
He made a game out of it, Bruce, and that was a hell of a shot. And I've seen Warren Foegele deke. I'm really glad he shot because he's not much of a deker.
Oh, he usually fumbles the puck because he's going too fast.
Yeah, but
he has a hard time making that last touch. Even when he makes the deke, he can't make the tuck.
That was a nice shot, though. That was he's not I think I recall him shooting before on a breakaway this year and scoring.
Yes, so 28 feet it was, and it was so mid slot.
The last one.
The one he scored tonight.
No, I'm talking about, I think I recall him scoring another goal earlier this year on a breakaway.
Yep. Yeah, he just fired one right in,
Yeah, previous to this game. So I think he's done it before, and he did it again tonight. That was a very good thing. Bruce, my good thing was the comeback, which was a weird comeback because it's not like the Oilers had a ton of pressure. You've done the preliminary grade A shots for the game. Thank you for doing that, Bruce. It was 17-7 for the Oilers, according to your
That's what I had.
Preliminary count. And that's what it felt like at the game. It felt like Bobrovsky stole another win. We got goalied again. If they win, he's clearly the Conn Smythe winner if they win. Like he has won 2 games where the Oilers got the better of the play. And I think it was pretty significant this game as well. The Oilers had tons of chances and just could not score. So, anyway, the comeback in the second period when the Oilers got whipped so badly, they were actually pretty good on the old grade A shots. They had significantly more than the other team, and it just seemed like everyone the other team had one in the net. But in the third period, it was almost reversed. You have the Oilers with 3 grade A shots, and 2 of them went in. And the third one, so close. So the first one, Connor McDavid made there was good team play on all of these goals, actually. Strong play on the offensive end. And I really like McDavid's play on both of them. And the first one, he gets the puck behind the net and makes it like a super pass to Philip Broberg in the high slot. And Broberg shoots it at the net, which is always a good idea. And it goes in. Finally, the Oilers got a bounce. Finally. Went it off a Florida defenseman into the net. And so it's 4-2 at that point. And you're thinking there's still 14 minutes left in the game. And you're thinking, game on. It'd be nice to get a power play. And
good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that at that point. And then the next goal is an equally nice goal. And McDavid and Draisaitl are working hard. They're controlling the puck along the boards. And McDavid finally wins it, controls it, and finds Kulak at the point, who fires it on net. And Ryan McLeod goes to the net. Good work, Ryan McLeod, going to the net and tips it in. It's just a great Californian goal, hardworking team goal, the kind of tough, gritty goal that you're going to need to score against the Florida Panthers, Bruce, because it's hard. They read the play so well when you're trying to make the pretty play, the cross seam pass, the long pass. I mean, Foegele's goal was a pretty play, but you're not going to score a lot of pretty goals on these Florida Panthers. It's going to be through brute force, getting the puck at the net, and that goal was a great example of it. About a minute later, McLeod almost ties it. McDavid goes in, charges in. I thought he might shoot. He doesn't. He passes up the shot, but he puts it back to McLeod, who, man, if he had only raised that puck, he slams it hard on the ice. You know, it's tough. It's tough to get a good shot, but it just seems like just be ready. Like get down on your stick like Hyman. You know, you expect that pass from Connor McDavid, bear down and roof it. You know, if that's Zach Hyman, that probably was a goal, because he'd be one of the guys who would be ready, or Evander Kane, guys who are handy around the net. But McLeod was in the right spot, and he did get off a really hard shot, and it's in the building. It felt like it was going to go in. Like, it just felt like it's going, and then it didn't go in. It was like a goal line save.
That was a great stop. He had to get
brilliant,
because he shot along the ice. That had every chance to go under Bobrovsky's pad and into the net, and he was somehow able to get his pad down and seal the ice. Like, McLeod didn't miss. Like, he didn't roof it. But that's a very different thing from saying
he got a hell of a shot off. Correct.
Mike Bossy would have gone upstairs with it, right? And he would have had his 63rd of the season, right? And Brian McLeod is not that guy. He got in a good spot and he hammered the shot on net, and Bobrovsky came up with the masked robbery. That was all she wrote. That was the last shot Edmonton had on net in the game with 4 minutes to go, 4:11 or so to go in the third.
There was one really disappointing moment when Janmark, I think there's about a minute 30 left, and Janmark takes the puck in. He looked like he got tripped, and that should have been a penalty call.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that. You're right, but that's a trip.
Yeah, he was quite demonstrative with the ref, and that's not his normal way. So he clearly felt like he did get hard tripped. Done by there, and there was no call to be made. Yeah, about 2 minutes left. So
such is life in the NHL.
Well, the power play's going, who knows? But it would have been nice to have that opportunity for sure.
It would have been nice, Bruce. I think they would have scored. Like they had a lot of momentum at that point. So anyway, let's move on to bad things. We'll just go through the goals in order. Is that the plan?
Might as well.
Okay.
Good things for the 3 Oilers goals. We managed to shoehorn them into 2 good things. But there's 4 bad things and there's 4 goals against. So the math seems pretty clear cut. I'll take the first one. Yeah, the Oilers almost got to the end of the first period, 0-0, and I thought, they're playing, Skinner's made a few stops in the early going, and then I thought they kind of settled down and were playing patient hockey. And then the 4-on-4 got called, where who went off? Kulak for roughing, and Kachuk went off.
The whole building was yelling turtle. It was great.
Right. Well, they have the 4-on-4, and of course they send out Draisaitl and McDavid, Bouchard, and Ekholm as they would.
Yeah.
And
the dread 4-on-4, Bruce. The dread. And why is it dread?
Yeah, well, Bouchard got the puck along the blue line. He got chipped off his stick by Alexander Barkov,
Mm-hmm.
who's having a fantastic series. When you want to talk about Conn Smythe, he was first star of this game with the winning goal and this assist. And this assist was after he checked the puck off of Bouchard and drove it out into the neutral zone, and he just stayed all over kind of the puck. And Bouchard was trying to sort of recover and restart the attack, and in the neutral zone, it kept seemed to be forced backwards towards Edmonton's end, and Bush couldn't make the play, and the puck got knocked over to the far point where the excellent Gustav Forsling got it with nobody around him. He's like wide open, and the two high-scoring Edmonton forwards are really nowhere to be seen. And I thought,
McDavid's back. It's interesting, Bruce.
yeah,
It's a 3-on-3 at that point.
he's
But
well,
guess
yeah, he's around,
guess
but he's
who's
not
guess
around the
who's not
guy.
guess who's in the red light zone,
Uh-huh.
not covering anyone, not covering a passing lane,
Yep.
watching the puck. It's Connor McDavid,
Yep.
and Forsling is his
Forsling
man.
makes a perfect shot pass to the goal scorer Sam Reinhart, the 57 goal man this season.
Yeah,
And he makes a perfect tip off the post and in, which Matthias Ekholm is unable to contain. So, I mean, Ekholm got beat on the play,
he did.
but the mistakes were, sort of a avalanche of small mistakes that ended with the red light. And to me, the coverage of the forwards was perhaps the most questionable part of it.
Yeah, I mean Ekholm's play is a tough play at that point. Bouchard got beat, but it's still a contained play, and it stops being contained when Connor McDavid doesn't cover a man. And anyway, it's how the Oilers give up goals. It's how they've always given up goals, and they did it again. And then the back-breaking moment of the game happens at 10:40, 10:50 of the third. The goal scored 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
It's just a simple dump in, Bruce. And Skinner. I didn't ever see a really good replay of it.
It was kind of a bouncing puck as it came around. It got over his stick somehow.
Could he have been a little faster, perhaps, getting behind the net? Because the dump in was from far away. And anyway, Skinner doesn't contain the dump in. He bobbles it. He's caught out of his net. And the puck is quickly passed out front by the Florida player incoming. And because both CC and Holloway are expecting looks like Skinner should make that play. It looks like an easy play for Skinner to make, and he doesn't make it. The turnover immediately is in the back of the net because Holloway isn't covering Tarasenko, who goes right to the net. Holloway is peeling off for the pass. Right. I mean, Kevin Bieksa said, and I think he's probably right, that Holloway should have just stuck with him. And I was wondering, like, what happened there at the game. And CC failed to cut out the pass. So there was a couple extenuating circumstances. But really, that's
the turnover was the thing.
When a goalie makes a mistake like that, Bruce, it kills your team. It just on the bench. It's just like you're counting on your goalie so much, and for that to happen, it's hard to regroup. It's just so unbelievably deflating, and the Oilers quickly get 2 more goals scored on them. What's your next bad thing?
Very quickly.
Yeah. Oh, this next one. It might have had a few comments on the internet, both of those goals. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What about the third one, Bruce?
Yeah, well, the third one, it happened within 4 minutes or so.
5 minutes, about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Of the Tarasenko goal. And this one, again, is sort of a nothing play. And a bunch of guys, and it looked like Nurse had full control of the puck. And he was a little bit surrounded, but it didn't look like much. But he made a weak backhand pass. He tried to slip it through to the guy on the boards, and it didn't get through the guy that was checking him, Matthew Tkachuk. And Tkachuk quickly slipped it over to his partner in crime, Sam Bennett, who roofed it just like that. It was like sort of an innocuous turnover, bam, in the net. And that's what happened on all the goals. Like Florida just didn't miss when they got a good chance. They put it in off the post or in the top corner. Or, they just buried their shots. And their shooters collectively look a whole lot deadlier than Edmonton's big money men.
Might
So
have to
far in
do.
this series. And I mean, partly, I guess you can say they're not shooting against Bobrovsky and McDavid and company are, but I'm not sure Bobrovsky would have stopped this particular shot. Anyway, it just happened very fast, and bam, bam, top corner she goes.
Yeah. I don't know. Nurse, he tried to bring it out through the middle of the ice, which is a tactic, right? That's okay. You can do that, but you've got to do it. Yeah. And he just seemed a little he seemed injured. He seemed a little lackadaisical, i.e., like not forceful on the play, not able to make a forceful play with the puck. And I think his injury showed there, and was the main factor in that goal against. But he could have, the safe play would have been to put it behind the net, or skate it behind the net yourself.
Right.
Reverse, don't try to cut up the middle. Reverse, go the other way. But that didn't happen. And the game's now really.
And the pass, that Tkachuk's pass skittered through Nurse, who wasn't really positioned to cut out a pass since he just had the puck himself. And Tkachuk put it in a good spot, and Bennett put it in a better one.
Yeah.
That one hurt.
Goal 4 comes a minute and a half after that, and it's just Ekholm's now the guy puck watching. And, the Oilers have it deep in the end of the other team and can't keep it there. They break out, and Ekholm's it's a split-second decision where he misread the play. Instead of heading back, so it's a 2-on-2, he's caught flat-footed watching the play and thinking, I want to rush in there and try to get a goal so we can get back in this game, which is the right thought in a way. But he's caught flat-footed, and it's 2-on-1, and then Bouchard bites fairly high. Instead of playing it conservatively, he does that high bite on the play, and it's then a breakaway. And maybe would have been nice for a save, would have been nice, but Foegele scored on a similar play, and this is a very difficult shot for Skinner to get. You got it as a 5-alarm shot. Yeah, and a great shot right off the post. It was like Foegele's goal, actually. Almost exactly the same, like just a brilliant shot beats the goalie. So you're right. It's not really Skinner's fault, although a save would have been nice.
I don't think Skinner had a chance on any of the 4 shots that went in. I mean, maybe he makes it like they are all like really good shots labeled. And the one that he had, the one where he coughed up the puck, sure. The shot itself, So I understand that there was a bunch of people on Twitter that wanted to draw and quarter the goaltender, and
I thought we might see Pickard in the third period just to rouse the team, but and you do have to make a save, right? Like you got to make a save.
Once in a while.
7 grade A shots and 4 goals. That's like some people will say, well, Skinner's not to blame on any, except the one where he bobbled it. He's not to blame on any.
I just said that very thing. Then I'm not sure he had much of a chance, but they made their shots and he didn't make any saves.
Nonetheless, yeah, you've got to make some saves if your team's going to win. And the other goalie did. He made some incredible saves. So that's how you get goalied, and that's how you lose a game. 2 games out of 4, the Oilers get goalied. Doesn't feel, there's no silver lining.
4-3, I don't know if it's getting goalied. I mean, they just made too many glaring mistakes, and Florida made them pay for it. Like they didn't lose 2-1. Okay?
I say getting goalied is when you have considerably more grade A shots than the other team, and the other team wins. That's my definition of it. So
then that happened.
Yeah. And usually I say it's like if you have 3 more grade A shots than the other team and the other team wins, that's goalied. And this time it was about 10, according to so this was like Meg,
A few of them are like A minuses. Like there's some pretty
I'll have a look.
marginal ones, and I
Sure,
have some question marks besides
sure.
ones I didn't count that I included for you to look at.
Okay.
And it
So it
was
might have been a bit closer than that, like 14-7 or something, like maybe.
they had Florida had five alarm chances, and four of them went in.
What's your number, Bruce?
Oh, we're there already.
We
Yeah,
are.
I'm going to take the number 2. And this is a little bit the hockey guards having fun with me. I wrote an article today and said 2 things that the Oilers really need to turn around. They need to get some secondary scoring, and they need to play better in the third period because they're getting crushed in the third period. Well,
Mm-hmm.
tonight they won the third period 2-0, and they didn't just get secondary scoring. That's all of their goals were not just secondary goals, but literally second goals. Because it was Warren Foegele with his second of the playoffs, Philip Broberg with his second of the playoffs, and Ryan McLeod with his second of the playoffs. So the secondary scoring was there in spades. All the goals were literally secondary uh, scores. And the problem is the primary scores are nowhere to be seen. And here we are in the finals. Not only is the power play not scored, but none of the 5 superstars on the Edmonton power play has scored a single goal in this series. And the depth scorers are at least trying now, and they're chipping in a little bit, but not enough.
My number is 0 for 10. It's Oilers power play.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a weird one, Bruce, because they had some really great chances to score on the power play tonight. You got 1 5-alarm shot on the power play. Dreisaitl's shot. Was not McDavid's cross seam pass?
Yes, absolutely.
That's 5-alarm. You don't have that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they had
Well,
2.
that was McDavid to Draisaitl. The
Oh,
5-alarm pass.
you have a one-timer by Draisaitl as a
Yeah.
5-alarm shot on the power play,
That was
and
cross
then
seam pass
Draisaitl
play.
to McDavid. So, but you only have one 5-alarm shot.
Okay.
So there's 2.
Yeah, that other one probably is right.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
Okay. So the Oilers did have 4 grade A shots on the power play, 2 of them 5-alarm. This is not bad. Like you'd expect to score at least 1 goal with that amount of activity on the power play, and there was lots of activity. But this is, you live by the power play, you die by the power play. You have to be able to. You can't count on it necessarily, and the Oilers have been counting on it. They really counted on it. The LA series was fairly even at even strength, but the Oilers just killed them on the power play.
Yep.
And the power play came through for them at key times, both against Vancouver and
100%.
against Dallas in the end. So far, though, I mean, the power play is going to just have to get red burning hot for anything to change in this series. But they are. And here's what I see from it, Bruce. At the game, Bobrovsky is excellent at reading passes.
Mm-hmm.
He is a brilliant tactician, and during the game, he's one step. The Oilers are usually one step ahead of the PK. Bobrovsky is one step ahead of the Oilers, and they're trying a lot of long passes, constantly making long passes. I think the strategy has got to be send 2 guys at the net, which they don't want to do because they have 1 guy at the net, but there's really no one else out there to send to the net, but send 2 guys to the net and have Bouchard bomb. And maybe it's Draisaitl and Hyman. And I know that they don't want to do that, but he's reading the lateral passes, the cross-seam passes, all these passes. And so is the Florida Panthers reading them. And their last power play got nothing because they were reading them so well.
That power play to start the third was super disappointing. Like they really needed a good start in the third, and they had almost the whole period with the power play, and they did nothing. And granted, I mean, it was obviously a good kill for Florida, but that was a big 2 minutes for them.
Yeah, Florida really started to read them then because they're just trying these long again. So I just think they've got to try some direct hockey. Just slam it at the net. I mean, Hyman almost scored in the power play too. There was one pass that came right through the crease. I don't know if they lifted his stick on the power play. That was like the first or second power play. I don't know if you recall the play, but it was shooting right through the crease, and Hyman couldn't get a stick on it.
Oh, right,
So
right. Yeah, I just tickled the toe of his stick and kept
yeah,
going into the corner. It
so
was really
they
close.
are so close, but I do think a little bit more reliance on Bouchard's shot would not be a bad idea. He passed up some shots today too, which is always frustrating. I just think God gave Evan Bouchard that shot for a reason, to injure Florida Panthers with it and score some goals. Um, so fire that puck.
Put a bite in, I think it was Ekblad at one point,
Yeah,
but he did have 12 shot attempts, 6 on net, 5 that were blocked. So it's not like he wasn't shooting, but there was a
fair
couple other
enough.
times you think, just let her rip.
I want him to shoot all the time. Like, don't pass it down low. Like, Bob's reading the
Just
low
fire
pass.
away.
Yeah, just hammer that and see
Uh-huh.
what happens.
It's harder to
Um,
read a rebound. I mean, the goalie has some control over the rebound, but a hard shot into the goalie, the rebound
just
is
could
harder
go
to
anywhere.
contain.
It really is.
And it's sometimes more dangerous than a pass because the goalie has to respect the shot first
yeah,
and then respond. So,
yeah. I think that might work, but it's not the Oilers' way, right? Like, they like their passes, and they obviously they've directed an absolutely brilliant power play for a long time now. So they probably have it right. This is just what I noticed tonight, that
hmm
Bob's reading their passes, and that's why he's making the saves that he's making. I mean, Draisaitl's one-timer shot could have easily gone in. Like, it bopped around on him. I think it hit him twice before he put it out, like, made the save. But anyway, it's
yeah, well,
just
they had 6 minutes of power play tonight and they had 6 shots.
it's not bad.
And then Florida had 2 minutes, just one power play for Florida. And Edmonton had the shot. Connor Brown on a partial breakaway had the only shot during Florida's power play.
Didn't he get two shots?
The second one missed the net.
Oh, it did, eh? Okay. When you're at the game,
It was really
it's
close.
hard to tell. Okay, let's just quickly move on to the Conundrum, Bruce. They're down only one team in NHL history, the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs, has come back. I think only 4 teams in NHL history have come back from 3 games down. So,
The Islanders did it, the Flyers,
didn't the
and the
Kings?
Sharks. No, the Kings against the Sharks. Yeah.
Yeah, the Kings, when they won the Stanley Cup.
Sharks were up 3-0 and they couldn't put them away.
Here we go, man.
2014. Yeah.
Here we
Well,
go.
it's been done.
The Oilers, at the game, I just got a better sense of Leon Draisaitl. He is not moving his feet. He does definitely look injured to me.
hmm
Like, he's just not driving. He's unable to, like, when Draisaitl at the start of the playoffs, when he was dominating, before he got hurt, that
hmm
in that game, first game in Vancouver, he was driving forward, driving the play. I didn't see that at all. He's not able to do that, and I don't know what's going on, but that I think there's a fairly significant injury there. Kane is out. Kane was a dominant player in some games against LA. He was huge against Vancouver, even though he was hurt standing up to the Apex Predators, Zadorov, in the Battle of the Apex Predators. Kane was magnificent in that series with his physical play. They just so badly miss what he
They really
brings
need him in
when
this
he's. They
series.
really need him in this series. He's not there. So
hmm
my my vote is the Conundrum is not much of one. No, I don't. With the state of injury on the Oilers, I don't think they can do it, which isn't a
Well,
big thing to
you
say,
go
but
out and you sign Ogie Oglethorpe between games, right?
yeah, yeah. Jack
Yeah,
McElhargy
yeah. So,
wouldn't work.
yeah, Kane, uh, like in the finals, like he apparently hasn't even been able to sit down on the bench. He got hurt, re-hurt, or more hurt in the last game of the Dallas series,
Yeah,
and he only played 4 minutes in that game. He got hurt trying to land his only hit of the game. In game one, he played about 15 minutes and he had 3 hits in that game, but 0 shot attempts, which is very rare for him. Usually he racks up both hits and shots. In game two, again, 0 shot attempts, 2 games in a row. and also 0 hits. And I looked up his track record since he came to the Oilers in 2022, early 22. He's played 208 games for the Oilers, counting the playoffs. That was the first game they didn't have a hit or a shot. It was in the Stanley Cup Finals. There are people out there who might impugn Evander Kane's character for this reason or that, but the chance that he wasn't into it, is 0. He just wasn't able to do it.
Oh yeah.
He just didn't have the physical capacity to get it done, and they made the right decision, unfortunately, to pull him from the lineup.
Yeah.
It really sucks because he is kind of their counterweight to guys like Bennett.
Yeah, he really did come through in the playoffs like we were hoping all year, but he just ran out of gas. And so I think so is this Oilers team. But you never know. They win the next game, they go to Florida, maybe they steal one there and they're back home. So you can always hope. I'm hoping. I'm not giving up hope, but I just, realistically, there's a reason that's only happened 4 times. It's just really improbable. So
it's, even if it was a coin flip, it's 16, one chance in 16 to get 4 heads in a row. And as a general rule, in a series where one team has won 3 games and the other's won 0, it's not a coin flip because one team is actually, outplaying the other team. And
this isn't a coin flip.
There's lots of stats here that would say Edmonton has had the better of the play, but I would not make the claim that Edmonton's been the better team.
No, well, yeah, Bobrovsky is part of the team, and he's just been fantastic. So
sure is.
Bruce, let's leave it there. Thanks for talking tonight.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone.
And in the meantime, and in between times, this has been another edition of the Cult of Hockey podcast.